Hello and welcome to another episode of Coull Discussions. This is Chris. I'm Barry. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of something that's going on here in Calgary right now. Last year, I believe, was it last year?
Yeah, last year.
Last year, around like Bermuda short stay for universities, which is like the big party for the end of the year and stuff for universities. There was an unfortunate event that happened at a house party. 5 people ended up murdered by this young gentleman. And now he is standing trial, so it's taken up the newspapers and stuff like that. And he's openly admitted that he's killed these people, but he pled not guilty for mental reasons, pretty much. He said that he was
not criminally responsible due to a psychotic
breakdown or whatever the heck. And even psychologists have said that he was not in the right mind because he believed that these people were going to attack him, that these people were werewolves, vampires, that he was like the son of God, trying to like prevent or something to do with the end of the world. Alright, now, having said that, now this guy has openly admitted to killing these people, to stabbing these people, throw him in a damn slammer, gas chamber the motherfucker, kill him. You kill people? It makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me how you could even be on trial when you've openly admitted to killing people, and the only defense you have is that you weren't in the right mind. Makes zero sense to me. You know, I can understand having issues. I get that. But when you cross a line, like, it's still murder, regardless of how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know there's another example of the guy who cut the dude's head off on the Greyhound bus years back, and I've heard that the guy's out now.
Yeah.
He's back in society.
And
so what happens if he doesn't take his medication?
Yeah, he has to stay on his meds. That's his condition for being released. And it was not even 10 years ago that this happened, and some guy on a bus lost his life. Yeah, and he's out. Apparently he's all fit and normal and stuff like that. It's like, you can never be normal after doing something like that. And as a society, yes, I get it. We are trying to believe in people, expect good things out of them. You know, we're not trying to just railroad them down. We're not trying to railroad them, right? You send them off to the gulags or gas chambers just to get rid of them because, you know, they kill. When somebody, is mentally ill, we forgive them for everything. It's like, we shouldn't really forgive them for everything.
Yeah, when does it just become an excuse? When does it become just a use of, like, I'm sure it's pretty hard to fake being that mentally ill.
Well, both psychiatrists have said it is very difficult to fake being ill. You can't be over long-term observation. You can't fake it. And it's like, bullshit. You can fake a lot of things. Okay, this kid was going to the University of Calgary. He was studying, I can't remember what he was studying, but he had a minor in psychology.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he had a minor, so
yeah,
he already kind of was inside of it.
He has a minor in psychology. His father was a cop. So, talking to his dad, probably about all kinds of things, having a degree in psychology. I've studied psychology. I know how things are supposed to work. I know the symptoms for this. I know the symptoms for that. Some of them are really easy just to go, yeah, I'm crazy. The psychologists will say, it's like, you got to look at the time leading up. And it's like, yeah, they did. They looked at the time leading up to him.
He showed things of mental issues previous with Facebook posts
but
and stuff
okay,
like that.
When someone is going to commit a murder in any situation, sane or not sane, the time leading up to that murder, we're not talking about crimes of passion or heat of the moment things. Yeah. We're talking about premeditated stuff. Your behavior changes before that time so you can get things done. You have to do X, Y, and B to make sure that A, B, and C are going to work properly. So Yeah, of course there's going to be changes in behavior. Yeah, his behavior was a little erratic. It was, his parents even said, oh, we were thinking about doing an intervention and putting him in a psych
Well, I think they're just
ward.
saying that to make themselves sound a little bit.
And you know what's it's a horrible thing. One, this murder here in Calgary was the worst mass murder
Yeah.
we've ever had in Calgary history. Okay, I know it pales in comparison to some of the other ones out there in the world. I get it, but in Calgary, this was the worst one. You know, the father was a cop, right? That's a horrible thing to have. It's like, you know what? I'm a cop, and my son
I just think that
killed
if
people. So
it shouldn't be an out. There should be no not criminally responsible for due to insanity, due to mental illness. I understand mental illness is prevalent, and you know, but
they should.
when do we draw a line? When do
They
we?
should, okay, fine. Okay, if we're not going to punish those types of people, we're going to put them in a mental institution, put them in a minimum security prison, have them attend the same types of programs that they're supposed to. Put put the mental institution in as part of a minimum security prison. They have to stay in prison. They have to go into the rooms. They have to eat. They get their meals. They shouldn't have a free ride like that guy on the Greyhound bus. The fact that he's out, and the only thing stopping him from
Is a pill
reverting
or
is
a couple pills, medication, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, imagine being the family of the victims and knowing that this guy is going to get out, knowing that this guy could be out and live a quote unquote, we'll call it a normal life. You know what I mean? And just, you know, there's other cases
no
where
repercussions.
nothing. Just, you know, you spend a few years in a mental institution and you're okay. Here's some pills. Here's some medication. We've chemically balanced your brain. And it's like, well, so the only thing stopping you, like we said, is just some medication. So you don't take that medication, then you're bound to. I wouldn't want some mass murderer living beside me. I wouldn't, you know, like it makes no sense. Where
Yeah, it doesn't.
okay, if you murder somebody, it's murder. You took somebody else's life. You've, in a sense, in my eyes, you've given up your rights as a human being. You've taken another life, whether it's crime of passion, whether it's anything premeditated, whatever. You know, obviously there are some, like if I'm in a fight and I punch somebody and he dies, that's an accident.
Okay, but that's called manslaughter.
Yeah,
Manslaughter
you know,
is
there
a
is-
different category of murder.
Yeah, there is going to be like, but if you knowingly killed somebody,
You're right. It's like, okay, you know, I want to point this out because this thing really bothered me. You know, fine, he's mentally unstable, you know, etc. But you know what? Psychotics, when they have mental breaks, they still have rules and regulations inside of that mental break. They still follow certain guidelines and stuff like that. Now, this guy said that vampires and werewolves were going to kill him, that he was out to hunt them, that he was the son of God, right? Fine. He was at this party, and he was out hunting these vampires and werewolves and Illuminati. He walks into the kitchen, he grabs a chef knife, and starts stabbing people. Okay, fine, if he had only ever mentioned Illuminati, because Illuminati tends to be humans and vampires. Now, you can kill a human with a knife. My biggest thing is, if he was out hunting werewolves and vampires in a psychotic... No.
I see where you're going with this.
You're laughing, but in that psychotic break, he's going to know you can only kill a vampire with a stake to the heart, and you can only kill werewolves with silver. He had none of those.
Yeah, it
In a
just makes
psychotic,
no sense.
in his psychotic break, he would still know. If he knows what a werewolf and a vampire is, he's going to know that they are supernatural beings. He's thinking he's the son of God.
Go ahead, finish. 'Cause,
He's gonna have taken extra steps and precautions to take care of these supernatural beings. But he admits he walked into the kitchen, he grabbed a knife, and he tried to do it as humanely as
Yeah.
possible.
Oh my
And it's
God.
just like, really? One guy had 21 stabs.
yeah, that's humane.
That's
This is another issue. You know, he sits there and says that he's the son of God, right? So he's doing it in a sense on behalf of God, right?
Yeah.
So when we have somebody else
Now
9/11 attack people in the name of God, their God,
hold on.
they're considered terrorists. Why is this guy not a terrorist? And why are we not treating him exactly like a terrorist?
That's a good point. But good point. This is one person's doing it in the name of religion. One person's doing it in the name of, I guess, religion.
Yeah.
For lack of a better But I'm
not
going to be a little defensive here.
I'm not sitting here saying that like the God you
defensive.
believe in is telling you to kill people.
I don't think his was the Bible God, but
well,
there's a whole pantheon of gods that he could have chosen from. So whatever.
But still, my point is, like, we consider these guys terrorists, but this guy's just mentally ill, and it's like, well, okay, hold on. Why are these guys terrorists and he's not a terrorist? He did the same thing. He killed people. These guys kill people. What's the difference?
Well, yeah, no, because the argument can be made that there was a couple of stabbings in London by these two gentlemen. They seem really coherent and everything like that. You know, they stabbed these people in the name of their God, and it's just like, well, they're being treated as terrorists because their God just happened to be the same God that is behind a terrorist.
It's not the right God, apparently. It's not the one that supports the terrorist group. It's the one that supports, I don't know, Santa Claus?
Sun worshippers.
Whatever. It just blows my mind that we're wasting tax dollars on lawyers, prosecutors, and judges and courtrooms to put this guy on trial to what?
Yeah, to throw him in a loony bin and have him sit there for
5 years when we've balanced him mentally.
Yeah, you know what? For the family, that sucks.
It hurts, man. You got to go through it. I couldn't imagine if somebody killed my kid. I'd be like, no, I'm going to kill you. Let him out. Let him out. You won't see him again. I'll find him and I will never do that. That's what I mean. Edit, delete, /. You know, it's just like...
All you need to do is show a little signs of psychosis a couple months beforehand.
And we're good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're making victims of the victims again. The night of the murder, they had to go through the death of their child, the death of a friend, the death of, whatever. And now you have to go through it again. And then when this person comes up for parole in whatever, it's going to have to go through it again and again and again. And it's like, well, what? Where does this stop for the victim? You know what I mean? I don't care about the person who committed the crime.
Why all of a sudden is it, as soon as something goes to court or people get arrested, the victims have, not the victims, the accused has more rights than the victims. And that's not right. Isn't the way it should be. You know, this is the reason why a lot of rape victims don't come forward, because they understand...
Because they're going to get victimized again.
They're going to be victimized again and again and again, and nothing's going to happen.
A little slap on the wrist, maybe a couple years in prison.
Yeah.
At most, you know what I mean? And
one of the things that's always annoyed me is, people... the best example would be child molesters. You know, they rape a victim over a period of like 5 years, and they're doing it multiple times a year, but they're only charged once. And it's just like, I don't.
Honestly, I don't. If somebody touches my kid in a weird way, I don't want them to go to court. I want them in a room, myself, me and him, me and that person.
And they wouldn't make it to court.
And then that's it. Just give me 15 minutes. That's all I need. He can even fight back. I don't give a crap. Because there would be nothing that could stop me. I don't care how big, I don't care how strong that person is. That person would not make it out of that room. You know, and it's just, we got to stop making the victims. We got to stop victimizing the victims multiple times and stuff like this. And, to have it splattered on the paper. And, because especially if you were friends with these people, or you were at that party and then you stepped away to get the food, and then, it's like, you try to forget about it, and now it's back up.
The thing about it, it's like people who have been in a tragedy like this understand and sympathize. The rest of us sympathize, but have never had to go through a tragedy like that, so it's harder for us to...
Imagine the nightmares you would have.
Yeah.
Coming back to a scene of just blood, and you're like...
Dead people. your friends.
Yeah.
Somebody
Somebody
they
sat
were
beside
alive
you, yeah.
20 minutes ago, and you come back, and now
Another
they're
dead.
gone
You're
forever.
like, Jesus Christ.
It's a horrible thing, and unfortunately, there's this is you. There's a lot of anger in society nowadays because we think a lot of things are broken.
Yes. A lot of things are.
And when we have trials like this, they just they show us highlight how broken things can be. Fine, you know what? He's broken. Well, you know what? You can fix him, but you shouldn't make it so that the people that he killed, it means nothing because
we can fix him with this little needle that goes
10 years he'll get maybe in a psych ward.
Yeah, he won't go to prison.
He'll get out. That's 2 years in a psych ward for each person that he's killed. You know, the Pigton farmer, the one that killed.
And had his pigs eat them.
Yeah, he killed like 40-some people. Another mass murder in Canada, which we happen to have a lot of, which is kind of weird. He got life in prison multiple times, and he's not mentally ill. He's sick. Yeah, he's screwed up. Yeah, he's mentally ill. Duh.
Yeah, he's twisted in a way that should be.
He's broken.
I don't know.
He's not going to be fixed. This guy, he's broken. Yeah, and you know what? Fix him, but then make him spend time in prison.
Nah, I don't want my hard-earned money going to support that guy. Put a roof over his head, give him 3 meals a day. When I know that there's people out there, there's kids out there who don't get 3 meals a day. There's kids in schools that don't get 3 meals a day, and these guys who murder are mentally effed up or whatever. It's like it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't stress enough, if you kill somebody and you openly admit to it, if you, number one, admit to it, or you're caught like red-handed, 100% without a doubt, then that's it. Your life is over as well. There should be no ifs, ands, no questions.
That's what the trials are meant for, is to prove the proving of guilt and stuff like that. But our the court system is broken. We see this too many times. The prison system, again, is broken.
But it comes back to us as a society not doing anything to change it. Like we talked about last week in our videos about government. We as society, we choose to just let things happen, and we don't really stand up. There's been many examples of mass gatherings and mass
Occupy movement, Black Lives Matter,
making things change and changing things. You know what I mean? Especially in the 50s and the 60s, and now we need to do stuff that are important, not stuff like which bathroom people should use. It's important, but you share your bathroom at your house with everybody who comes through your house door. Does it matter? No. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. It sucks. It sucks to read in the newspaper, to see it on the newspaper, and
it is. It's very unfortunate for the families that are having to go through this again, because they are sitting in that courtroom listening to all the details
of their kid
and hearing
hearing
this defense lawyer. And I feel for defense lawyers, because they are a right of our country. Yeah. You are allowed a defense lawyer. It sucks when they have to do things like this, and they.
I don't know how he sleeps at night. I don't know how he sleeps at night. I don't know how he. I don't. I understand you're doing a job. I get it.
Yeah, no, and you're supposed to do the job as best as you can.
But I just...
you're there for your client, and I get it. He's doing what he's supposed to do. It's exactly like the John Gimlishi trial. Female lawyer, and just ripping into the defense, into the witnesses, and just filleting them. By the time they were done, he didn't even need to take the stand to defend himself, and it was like, well, how does she sleep at night? Because she just ripped into them and just made it so victims will not want to ever come out and say anything at all.
Maybe one day we'll talk about that. Maybe. Other than that, guys, don't forget to give us a thumbs up on the Facebooks. Subscribe to us on the YouTubes.
Listen to us on iTunes. You can subscribe there as well. We do have Twitter if you want to leave us a tweet or two.
We do, at Coull Discussion. Not Cool Discussions, because somebody forgot the S when he created the account. That was me. Sorry about that. You can comment away and talk to us about what you think about the whole use of mental instability to get yourself off of a crime. Other than that, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching.
See you
Until next time.